Hi everybody, this video is going to show you how to take through Design Space this new SVG to make a Santa themed bottle box for a standard wine bottle. When I say standard, I mean a 75 centilitre 750 ml wine bottle, which is about 3 inches wide, 7.5 centimetres wide, and about 11.5, 12 inches tall, 30 centimetres ish. So you get within the SVG, you get the files to make the boxes, and you can make them look like this. You can have this central white strip and gold buttons, or if you just want a kind of simpler design, I love them both. A simpler design, you can just use white buttons against the red like that. Otherwise, the boxes are identical and made the same way. Just show you so there you can see the bottle in it. It's just fractionally taller than the bottle because with these gable tops you need to be able to depress the handles just a little bit to hook the thing over the side piece so that they close nicely. And there you can see a close-up of the belts and the button detail, and there they are again. So let's get on with it. Let's go into Design Space and bring it in and talk about how to cut it. Zoom in a little bit. I've been cutting this a few times tonight, which is why my canvas is already resized. So there it is. With the SVG, by the way, you do get a PDF of assembly instructions, really detailed, lots of photographs, and you get this diagram on the front page, as always with all my SVGs, and it talks about what parts which. So that makes it easier to start with. But the first thing we need to do now, what you need to do with any multi-part SVG with score lines that you bring into Design Space, is you need to convert those lines that come in as cuts which need to be scores. And with my SVGs, they always live in that first subgroup in your layers panel. So all you need to do is click on the name of that group and it selects everything in it. And the name of the group is always the second line down in your layers panel. So just click on that, it selects all those lines, which currently are basic cut, but you just click on basic cut, go down to score, and you can see that they get converted. And because there's more than one set, you can see there are 3 sets of scores in this group. We need to ungroup it. I'm using the desktop version for PC, so ungroup for me is at the top of the layers panel. Second step is to select the group below, which contains all the cut pieces and any tiny cuts within them, and all we need to do there is ungroup. And the third step is to select absolutely everything on screen because the SVG is still in an overall group, and we need to ungroup a third time. So now everything on screen is a separate piece, the scores are separate as you can see, so we can now attach the scores to the individual pieces that they relate to. It's really important to do it piece by piece because if you do it as a whole SVG, you'll get the message that the project is incompatible with your machine because it's just too big. I think the easiest way to do it is to click on screen somewhere near a piece, drag a box to enclose just that piece and its scores, and attach. And for me, attach is at the bottom of the layers panel. So that's the white trim and the gable top and the handles. This is the main box. This is the little belt section. And only those 3 pieces have scores. So we can go ahead and hit make it and see what happens. So the white, it puts that one that way around. We're just going to click on that little rotating symbol there, top right hand corner, put that there, and then we can choose A3, and we can also choose tabloid. So the white is fractionally too long, sadly, for 12 by 12. I mean, you could, if you wanted, slice a little bit off the top of this. And if you did that, because it goes under the top trim anyway, I'll just show you the picture. You can see that that disappears under the top trim anyway. I have it so that it goes right to the top of the box. But if you want to cut your white from 12 by 12, you could actually maybe just slice the, what do we think? Yeah, probably the top 2 anyway. Let's just do that. Let's just do that so we can see how it works. So if you're not going to do this, you need A3 or tabloid to cut the white. But if you wanted to just bring in a shape, position it there roughly, slice, and then we're just going to get rid of all this bit because we don't need it. And now we can say make it. And we might be able to choose 12, but yeah, look, we can choose 12 by 12 now. We're still going to have to twizzle that one round. We'll click move. Didn't do it, did I? Move that one, confirm. So we turn that round. Yeah, it definitely will fit. And there are your buttons. So yeah, if you don't have any A3 or tabloid white card that you want to use, you can slice a little bit off the top of that, cut it from 12 by 12, but then when you make it, you need to make sure you start at the bottom of your box when you're putting that white central panel on. It won't matter that it's short at the top because it gets covered up by that. Right. But if you don't do that, you need an A3. For the black, obviously, you just need a piece of A4. You need a tiny scrap for your gold or whatever you use to cut your buckle and your buttons. And the main box, yeah, this is interesting. So, when you come to cut this, you can see that you can choose A3, but it puts this piece, oops, the base piece on one on its own. So you could choose A3, cut your main box body from A3 if you don't like faffing around, and you could cut that from another piece. I'd cut it from any colour if you wanted, actually, because it wouldn't show. But what I do when I cut this is go back to that mat, I choose the 12 by 24, and then it puts those all on one sheet, and it just cuts from a sheet of A3. So you've got to use the long mat. There's no getting away from it because you need A3 or tabloid. No, not tabloid. It's too wide for tabloid. You need A3. But you could choose the 12 by 24 card, tell it you're putting that through, but actually just put a piece of A3 on. Maybe if you're worried, drop it down a millimetre or two from that very first white line. I'm talking about if you're in Europe here, by the way. I know you can't get A3 in the United States, but you could use A3 for that. So if you're in the US, you're going to need to use 12 by 24 or poster board cut down to fit your mat for that piece. Okay, that's that. The PDF instructions does go through the paper requirements as well. If you don't quite understand what I've just said, where's the stuff gone? Where's it gone? There it is. If you have any issues at all when you come to cut or assemble it, please don't hesitate to get in touch. This is not a difficult project. You do just need to be a little bit painstaking with it to make sure that everything fits together nicely. But it's a lovely box when you've made it, and really quite strong as well. I use some gorgeous 350-gram red for my main box. I bought it from, I'll put a link in the description. I bought it from eBay, actually. That it was the best one I could find. I'll put a link to it. I know that only helps people who are in the UK, but it will help you at least. If you know of any good suppliers for card, by the way, it would be lovely, and you're not in the UK, it would be lovely if you could maybe just comment beneath these videos, because I get loads of inquiries from all over the world. People buy my SPGs in lots of, in fact, I think I've sold to pretty much every country in the world, which is fantastic. Etsy is amazing for that. But I get lots of inquiries from people asking me where to buy card, and unfortunately, I can only really advise people in the UK. So if anybody knows of any other good suppliers and you're in different countries, help other crafters out maybe by dropping a link in the comments. That would be a lovely thing to do. If you need to get in touch with me, the links are in the description below. You can contact me on Etsy or Facebook, whichever you prefer. If you've got any technical questions though, please contact me on Etsy or Facebook. Don't leave a comment underneath because I don't always see them. So you're more likely to get a fast reply if you use Etsy. And if you just stumbled across this video and you'd like to buy the SVG, the link to do that is also in the description. Thanks a lot. Bye.